Welcome to the place where truth meets transformation and epiphanies cause an evolution. I am your host, Brianna. If you're on the YouTube or the podcast, welcome. Make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you follow. Hello, let's disrupt the noise because there's some people that want to entertain you, and there's some people that want to actually change your life. Now, transformation begins when we start to pull words apart. Transformation happens the minute that we stop deciding that our words are cemented or actually concrete. And we start to see that the very essence of language is when we take sound and we add it to meaning. So when you add sound and you add meaning, like you can do math, what what is the equation for that, right? Like what is sound plus meaning? That would be language, my darling. So when you are looking at language, what you're really doing is saying, holy shit, I don't actually have to believe that the material from which I'm thinking from is like cement. And I don't actually have to build with the same clay that everybody else is building from. And maybe you don't like clay. Maybe you like Play-Doh. Maybe you actually really love making sourdough bread. Does anybody else got a few of those in the family? So my point is, when you look at language, you understand that language is the ability to open timelines. When you look at how you paraphrase and how you speak, the way you slow down, the way you pause, the way you ask a question with a question mark, or whether you're like really fast paced and you like to talk fast because that's who you are and you've been told your whole life that you talk too much. Yeah, that's me too. But when you understand that language is the very essence that brings all of you together, then you start to stand for the and. So, one part of my book, the very word I pull apart is and. And people like to use and as a sort of conjunction. Like, I want to do this, but I have to do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. And so sometimes they use it as like a comma. And I think that's beautiful. But what if we start to use it in a way to get into higher realms of consciousness? Like, how do I start a business and work less? How do I lose the weight and not go to the gym for 2 hours? How do I fall in love with the lover of my dreams and not show up on social media to do it? How do I do this and do that? So when you get really damn talented at question asking, then you get better answers. I think I got really blessed because I've had, a good decade of sales in corporate. And in corporate, we were always told to ask dig deeper questions because by asking dig deeper questions, we would get to the emotional state. And through sales, we would figure out what really stops people essentially from going after their dreams and saying yes and not always getting stuck on the dollar sign, right? Like they would call us or we would call them. We knew it was the right thing, but somehow they'd always end up saying no. So we were trained to ask dig deeper questions. And then, beautiful me, I found astrology. And to me, they're really the same thing because really I understand language. It's everything is connected. It's really not separate. We're told to put it in different boxes and then label it like you're moving a house or something. Like, here's the kitchen dishes, darling. Tape, send. It's not like that though. Like in the way my brain works, my brain sees everything as connected. And a lot of people would say, well, that's just how the female brain works. Yeah, maybe, but there's more depth than that. So when I found my astrology, it's like, okay, you have a Scorpio moon. So most people, they're not really into all that, but I'll tell you what it did for me. I'm not here to give you the surface level, like lick off of a cupcake, darling. I'm here to help you explore what it looks like beyond the depths of the ocean. I said beyond because not even the depths of the ocean are deep enough because I can take you as deep as you want to go if you're willing to go there. Some of you are going to say you don't really know how to swim, and that's okay. Why? Because we're standing for the word and. So you might not know how to swim yet, and if you have a desire to, you'll get there. You might not feel like you have everything you desire right now in this life, and you're working towards it. You might not feel like you're the woman who like literally has what it takes to create the dream, and you're starting to believe in yourself more by more. So when you use the word and, let us use that very word as a possibility, as a comma, instead of a conjunction or a feeling of overwhelm. So do not ever again say the word and as if you're in some sort of list and the feeling state of overwhelm. I have to do the dishes and I have to take care of the kids and I have a business to run and I have emails to send and, right? Like, okay, cool. That's part of your reality. And just did it. And you get to change the script. So what if you said, wow, I wonder how I can get everything done today and still have 2 extra hours at the end of the day that I'm usually not used to? Whoa, now you're going to find a completely different answer, right? So it's not that you're dumb. You're not dumb at all. It's just that your brain has learned to split apart ideas. And in that splitting, it doesn't actually give you the result that you're looking for. So instead of splitting the idea to go against you, we need to use the word and, like super glue, and we got to like bridge the thinking. And so when you use the word and, it's like super glue and it's saying, okay, let's take this and let's take that and let's get to the essence of what we're really, really after. Let's empower ourselves to what we do want, not what we don't want. And let's ask better questions. So in corporate, like I was saying, I got taught how to ask these dig deeper questions, but I think a lot of people, when they're going about life, they're not always told that the dig deeper questions are what perpetuate the answer. And so we go around this life and we get really frustrated like children because we're like, I don't like the answer. And it's like, well, then, dude, stop asking the dumb question. You're not dumb. You just weren't intentional about what you were actually asking, right? Like, if you're expecting failure, what do you think you're going to get a taste of? Like, do you really think if you bite into the cupcake, it's going to taste so delicious and like failure is so good? No, but you might have that opportunity if you change the word, which I'm going to help you do. So, with that being said, you absolutely know, like you know, that you want these breakthroughs. I know that's why you're here. I do not attract anyone that does not actually want to know, who does not love curiosity, who does not like being provoked, who does not like being entertained. Like, you're here for a reason. Okay, let's trust that. So I'm going to put a link below, and you are one of the very, very first people to purchase this book. If you've already purchased it, you're amazing. But what I'm more interested in after the purchase is what word really actually changed your life? Because I give you like more than 100, but I want to know what word was it that you're like, holy shit, I didn't know I could look at it this way, and now I'm never going back. Because I want to know your never going back moment, right? Can we agree we're going to have more of those? All right, stand for the end. I love you. Until the next episode, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below what word has you totally effed up and what word would you like a spin on it. Will you put it in the comments below? I love you, and until next time, see you guys.